Hey there, it's Lauren. Thank you for joining me for another video. This video is going to be continuing along the lines of that product report video I did for the Indie Beauty Expo, where I talked about sort of newer brands, new trends, new launches, just general beauty news. So that's again what I am doing here today, minus the Indie Beauty Expo part, but just talking about new beauty stuff, some things that have come my way, some launches and whatnot. So yeah, let's get into talking about beauty. First thing, this is actually something that recently came my way. This is the Takesumi Detox Charcoal Underarm Detox Kit. It's by Kaia Naturals. This is a natural deodorant brand that has like charcoal deodorants and things like that. I've seen them at places like Credo. I believe they're carried at Anthropology and maybe even like Detox Market and Cat Beauty. And they have released these detox kits. So it's a mix of their charcoal deodorant, like a booster bar, and like a detox, like it's not like I was about to say a detox tea. It's like a bath thing that you do to get yourself into using organic deodorant. I already have tried out a few different organic deodorants in my life, but I'm still really curious about trying one of these detox kits. Have you used one of these yourself? Do they work? This is another sort of newer brand. It's called Harper Ari. They just make exfoliating cubes. They are sugar-based exfoliating scrubs that are in cube form, and then they have various different like scents. So this one's apricot, I think they have like a lemon and a different ones, and they're like binded together, the sugar with the perfume, the essential oils, with like I think coconut and shea butter, and it's just like an individual body scrub. I've seen them on Dermstore, Anthropology, Free People carries them, I believe, and a few other like beauty stores. But this is an up-and-coming brand that I've been seeing quite in a lot of places, and a lot of like smaller like ma and pop shops I've been seeing, and just a lot of people posting photos of this guy on Instagram. So this is kind of an interesting concept, this like individualized scrub. This is sort of leaning into the whole trend or larger focus on overall body skincare that I've been seeing, where you've been seeing like a huge rise in body oils coming out in the last little while, and different sort of indie brands getting bigger with their beauty oils, or their like all-purpose like face, hair, and body oils. And like even with like the Fenty shimmer body oil that's been coming out. And then there's a few other indie brands that are pretty big. I can't think of the one off the top of my head, but it's like Moon something. Will be like a photo. That guy's been all over the place and was in a few different like green beauty boxes. And then you have like the neroli smelling one from Kypris, and then I think Monastery has like a matte body oil that's I think also neroli scented. And yeah, there's just a bunch of body oils just like getting big, and different body related products. You know, we are getting into summer, so that makes sense. Lots of focus on that, tanners, bronzers, and whatnot. There's a new launch from Leahlani. They just came out, actually they have two new launches. They have the Bless Aromatherapy Essence, which is like based off of the Bless Beauty Balm. So fresh, floral, little citrus. You have the blue tansy, very like uplifting scent. And then they've also come out with Pamplemousse. I have a little sample that I got when they did a meetup, when they did an event at Cat Beauty a few months ago. And it's Pamplemousse, so grapefruit kind of scented. Takes off makeup pretty well. I've gotten a couple uses out of just this little guy. Not harsh, it's pretty nice, you know, Leahlani scent. I do plan on ordering the full size of this, but I wanted to hold off on ordering it until the Bless Aromatherapy Essence came back in stock, because that sold out pretty darn quickly, and I want to get both of those newer launches, so I don't want to like order one, pay for shipping, and then order the next. I actually picked up the Jet Lag mask from Summer Fridays. This is the Marianne Hewitt and I think it's Lauren Gore's brand that they started, and this is their first launch. It's kind of a pretty pricey mask, but it's one of those sort of like deeply enriching all-purpose creams. It says it's a mask, but you can use it as a moisturizer, you can use it as a primer, and it works around the eye area. And I've used it in a lot of different ways. I actually Took it with me on my vacation last week and wore it on the plane. Did well for hydrating on the plane, and it didn't irritate my eye area. It can be a little tacky and thick for maybe some people, but I really enjoyed it, and I think this was a really smart and interesting first product launch to do. So I'm curious to see what else this brand comes out with. It doesn't really have much to any scent, which is nice. These two things were actually sent to me a little while back from Colorescience. I'm not entirely sure if the mascara is all that new, but it's a peptide-enriched mascara, so it's supposed to help condition and it's supposed to help like the growth of your eyelashes. It has a rather like thick, fluffy wand, and it does give very like fluffy, big eyelashes. It does flake after like a few hours of wear, but still all in all pretty good, and gives pretty voluminous, is that the word? Lashes. And then this guy, I believe, is their newer launch. This is the Colorescience Total Eye 3-in-1 Renewal Therapy. This is like a peach toned eye cream color corrector. So it's like hydrating and brightening, and then it has the sort of peachness in there that helps with sallowness, but it also has SPF, which is nice because a lot of times like SPF is an area to miss around the eyes, and it has this very like cooling applicator. So I've been using this a lot during the day, like right before I put on like my base and things like that, and sinks in really well and does a pretty decent job of color correcting that area. True Moringa is a newer brand that I've been seeing quite a bit of, and just Moringa oil in general seems to be very like trendy oil to have in things, and just like the newer, like one of the newer it oils. I think like that and like plum oil seem to be some of the more like rising popular oils. You know, there's a big long moment with argan, and then there's a big moment there with like marula and things like that. So more things I've been seeing having like the key ingredient of moringa, and this brand is completely based around moringa. They make cold pressed moringa oils. They have just like this plain, just straight up moringa oil, and then they have some that are like mixed with different things, and this one is lavender, and they seem to be relatively like mid-range price, which is nice. Comes in nice glass bottles, and they're another one of those like multi-purpose oils. So I've used this on my face, on my body, on my hair, and it works well on all of those. A few other like launches and sort of retailers and things like that in terms of beauty news that aren't necessarily things that I have, but I thought were pretty interesting. Kypris is actually coming out with a new mask that is seems to be crazy expensive. It's supposed to be a very like hydrating, renewal, regenerating mask that also can be like used as a sleeping mask, and it seems to be very like sea focused. I think it has like key ingredients like algae and things like that in it. So from what I've heard, it's going to be extremely expensive. I know that they're like more popular oils and things like that are in the $70 price range, which is still very expensive, but I think yeah, from what I've heard, it's gonna be around like $200, which is pretty crazy. But it's this like super beautiful blue color. It looks really interesting, really beautiful looking packaging. You know, that seems to be their thing. Farmacy is also coming out with a new cleanser. I think it has launched now, and it's like a gentle foaming cleanser. I know that they had their exfoliating grains, and they have the cleansing balm, and then they even had an oil cleanser. I think some of them, I don't know if those took those out of the market or if they're just not like carried at Sephora anymore, but they're coming out with another thing that sort of focuses on honey and things like that. It's called Clean Bee, and it has turmeric in it, which is another ingredient that I've been seeing pop up a lot more. There's like those turmeric little like sticks that we used for spot treatments. I've been seeing it in a whole bunch of masks lately, and in like I think that brand that I really like, You Live, uses turmeric a lot. So it's just another ingredient that's been sort of trending and being key in a lot of things. I know turmeric has been a sort of star food ingredient for many years. There's like a rise in like turmeric lattes and things like that, so it just makes sense that it would find its way over into skincare, just like how kale did and things like that. They always kind of like, I don't know, go hand in hand. If you see it a lot in like a key ingredient in food, and if it can be used on the face, you're gonna probably end up seeing it on the face soon. A few interesting things in terms of like retailers. I know Edible Beauty, which used to be at Anthropologie, has recently started being carried at Sephora. So they're like a upper mid-range green beauty brand that kind of focuses themselves on being, you know, so clean you can eat, hence Edible Beauty. And then Anthropologie has been really expanding their range of different brands, especially like Los Angeles-based woman-run brands. Shiva Rose, which previously was like, I think it's at Cat Beauty, but is at like Detox Market and a lot of other like fancy places. It's a very expensive brand, but Shiva Rose is now at Anthropologie, as well as 1/1, which is a local Los Angeles based company as well. So they're joining other LA based brands like Karuna and By Rosie Jane that are carried there. So that's really interesting, and all like woman-run brands, which I always find is very awesome. So it's just sort of interesting, and something to keep your eye on is the beauty section, especially at Anthropologie, is because they carry a lot of really interesting brands that you often can't get discounts on, like Shiva Rose, Kypris, and even Demamule are carried there, as well as Ilia, and now some of those other brands that I had mentioned. If you're on Instagram at all, you probably know that Glossier released LidStars. They are cream eyeshadows that come in 6 different colors. They teased it originally with Fawn on Beyonce a few months ago, and then they launched these, I think, at the beginning of last month. Took me a while. I got 4 for my rep things, and then I purchased 2 of them. So I might do a review on these if people aren't interested. I'm still playing around with them. I've been having a hard time with them. They seem to be something to just kind of use on their own, and not really something that layers really well on top of other eyeshadows or blends well with other eyeshadows. So I'm on the fence about how I feel about them, but I have really enjoyed wearing Cub on its own. I think because it has the most dimension and is like one of the more flattering ones on me. But yeah, Glossier seems to be steadily launching like a new product once a month or once every other month. And then I believe at the end of May, they are actually opening up their own retail like flagship permanent store, not just a pop-up, here in Los Angeles. And from the location, it seems like it's in that area of West Hollywood that's on its way towards Beverly Hills. So that area that's really close to the Alfred T and like Violet Gray. There's a NARS there, lots of like cute boutiques and like bougainvilleas and jasmine and lots of places, which makes total sense because it's a very photographic area of Los Angeles. It looks like they have a storefront that's like fully covered in ivy. So that's pretty neat. That'll be interesting to have that here in Los Angeles. And that's gonna be an even more like beauty center area. You already have a lot of beauty center stores. So you have a few different like neighborhoods in Los Angeles that are very like beauty store focused. So if that was like a blog post or even like a vlog diary that would be interesting to you guys, let me know. There's Larchmont here in Los Angeles that has like the iconic beauty supply stores, and they have a few other stores there. And there's the new Century City Mall that just opened up that has like the most amazing selection of beauty stores. It's pretty interesting. So if that's something that you guys might find enjoyable to watch in some regard, let me know. And if you liked this style of like beauty news, what's new sort of product launches roundup, let me know as well, and I'll keep on with these. All right guys, I hope you are having a really good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.